women's singles, and it is Gregoria Mariska Tunjung, the Olympic bronze medalist, and she is a former champion here 2 years ago, up against Chiu Pin-Chian of Chinese Taipei. Well, when we look at the women's singles draw, we can see at quarterfinal stage only 4 seats, 2 in each half of the draw, but 5 different flags because there's 3 players at quarterfinal from Chinese Taipei. But as you can see at semi-final stage, 3 seeds and 4 different flags next to the 4 players. It's the 3rd time in the 3rd Kumamoto Masters that we've had 4 different member associations represented in the women's singles semi-final. Shows the diversity of this particular discipline. So here is the former champion leading them out, Gregoria Mariska Tunjung. She's actually trying to make it a 3rd consecutive final here at the Kumamoto Masters, because not only did she win 2 years ago, she was in the final last year as well. So this, surprisingly to me, is the first ever meeting between these 2 players. I suppose that Chiu Pin-Chian has been playing the lower grade of World Tour tournaments more regularly than these higher ones. So Gregoria Mariska Tunjung, the former champion, chooses to serve, having won the toss of the coin. But I can tell you that Chiu Pin-Chian is in great form because she's fresh from victory last week at the Korea Masters, her first ever final and title at a World Tour event. But this is the Olympic bronze medalist, Gregoria Mariska Tunjung, 26 years of age. The world ranking has dropped to number 11, having been as high as 5, and that has been mainly due to illness. She hasn't been able to play and train as she would like because of vestibular episodes where she gets very dizzy and feels very sick, and it's a horrible condition. Anybody who's suffered with that will know how debilitating it is. Well, as you can see, she's played against 2 Japanese players in the last 2 rounds. She's gone to 3 games twice, in the first round against Hung Yi-Ting of Chinese Taipei, and then against Asuka Takahashi in the quarter-final yesterday. So to Chiu Pin-Chian, who's 26 years of age, from Kaohsiung, and she's a couple of places down from her career high of 18. In fact, spent 2 weeks across 2 different spells at her career high. This is her 2nd Kumamoto Masters. She lost in the first round last year to Ayo Ohori. And like her opponent, she's gone to 3 games twice, and like her opponent in the first round and in the quarter-final. The qualifier in the first round, Shauna Lee from New Zealand, and then in the quarter-final against her teammate, Hung Xian. Well, this tournament has been a very happy hunting ground for Tunjung. As we look at our umpire for this one, Jackie Chang from the United States of America, and Chris Yip is our service judge from Hong Kong, China. Because I can tell you, the last 2 finals that Tunjung has reached in any tournament around the world are the last 2 events here at the Kumamoto Masters. Beaten in the final last year by Akane Yamaguchi, and won the title 2 years ago, beating Chen Yufei, the then Olympic champion, in the final in 2023.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Gregoria Mariska Tunjung, Indonesia. And on my left, Chiu Pin-Chian, Chinese Taipei. Gregoria Mariska Tunjung to serve. Love all. Play.
So it is the former champion, Tunjung, the number 4 seed from Indonesia, getting this semi-final underway against Chiu Pin-Chian.
Service over, 1-love.
Became only the 2nd player representing Chinese Taipei to win a World Tour title last week in Korea. And of course, following in the footsteps of Tai Su-ying, who was in an incredible 29 World Tour tournament finals, winning 17 of them. Nice angle from Tunjung.
Service over, 1-2.
Mind you, Tunjung herself made a bit of history here 2 years ago because she became the first player from Indonesia to win a Super Series or World Tour equivalent, which is 500 level or above, in the Super Series and World Tour era. Well, that was remarkable. Nice block. Super.
3-2.
Push that long. She's sitting with the drift. Chiu Pin-Chian.
4-2.
She's going to bear that in mind when she pushes the shuttle or clears or lifts to the back of the court. Ooh, lucky net court, was it?
Service
It
over, 3-4.
Wow, look at that. Yeah, super shot.
Service
When
over,
she won bronze
5-3.
in Paris a couple of, or last year I should say, at the Olympic Games, Tunjung became the 4th player from Indonesia to win an Olympic women's singles medal. Started well as Tunjung. Very positive.
6-3.
Having been love 2 down. So 6 of the last 7 points. Oh, she was there. She'll see that as a missed opportunity.
Service over, 4-6.
Just wide.
5-6.
Nice. Well, that's a lovely angle from Chiu Pin-Chian.
6-all.
She was forced to take that shuttle late in her deep forehand corner due to the disguise of the return of serve. well worked by Tunjung. Singles is very much about trying to outmaneuver your opponents, get them out of position. That's when you go for the winner. And to do that, you need to place the shuttle towards all four corners of the court, making your opponent move as much as possible.
Service over, 8-9.
That is perfection. That was a classic outmaneuvering her opponent. She played Chiu forehand net, then she played backhand deep corner, then forehand net once again, making Chiu move the full diagonal of the court. That's the longest distance to scamper. Nice.
Service over, 9-10.
It is the Olympic bronze medalist who goes to the mid-game interval with the advantage. A 2-point advantage for Gregoria Mariska Tunjung. 20 seconds. Eleven, 9, play. So 11-9 the advantage to the former champion Tunjung.
Service over, 10-11.
I think most of the pressure on Tunjung's shoulders because as the number 4 seed and of course as the former champion and Olympic bronze medalist, she will be the favourite to win this, and that's always a burden of expectation.
12-10.
Oh, that's loose. Missed it. There. Chiu Pin-Chian is going to perhaps regret not stepping into the loopy drop shot. In my opinion, that was a golden opportunity to have played a winner.
14,
that's a 2 points. I wonder if the accumulation of tiredness after winning her first World Tour title last week in Korea, whether that's perhaps just beginning to take its toll. Finds the net. It's always interesting to me how an athlete reacts to outstanding success, which for this young lady, of course, it was in winning her first World Tour title a week ago. Do you still feel elated with the next week when you playing another event, or emotionally, are you a little bit spent because it was such a big win for her?
Service over, 15-11.
Certainly so far, it looks as if she's been absolutely elated by her victory. She's carried her good form forward. Just wide.
Service over, 12-15.
Oh, that's a lovely shot. Super. What an excellent rally by both players.
Service over, 16-12.
Two shots that last rally, the longest so far. Oh my goodness.
Service over, 13-16.
Dive just a little too early.
Thank you. Service over, 17-13.
Oh, that's a nice return. Great placement.
Service over, 14-17.
That's way long of the back line.
Service over,
A broad smile
18-14.
from Tunjung. She had that problem in the second game, controlling those clears. That's a nice block. Look how she's moving Chiu from side to side. Yeah. Forcing the error because of the movement that Chiu Pin-Chian had to
19-14.
make earlier in the rally. Two points away from the opening game, Tunjung.
Service over, 15-19.
Oh, that's landed in. That's on the line. That's a lovely shot.
16-19.
She watched it and watched it.
Service over,
She's played a number
20.
of
Game
round the
point,
head
16.
cross-court shots as Tunjung. And another one there. Earns her 4. game point opportunities. Only needed the one. That's a perfect smash. Straight down the line. 21-16, the opening game.
Won by Gregoria Mariska Tunjung, 21-16.
Umpire confirming the scoreline. And the former champion, one game away from a third consecutive final here at the Kumamoto Masters. 21-16 in 15 minutes.
Satu lagi, nek kamu kamu siap, karena dia ingin rada cepat. Tapi mesti medun. Nah, begitu cepet langsung gitu aja. Kurang bawa es kan? Kalau es. Tapi giliran kamu gini cepet, nah itu itunya.
Ini bola pun tajam deh.
Itu aja.
Saya syukurin dulu, ojo tipis banget. Ya, saya ngaduk nih, balik mana nggak apa-apa, nanggung lagi aja buat sini lah.
Ya, itu dia nggak cepet, masuk dulu, masuk aja.
20 seconds.
Ya, ya.
20 seconds.
So the call of 20 seconds from the umpire, a clear indication that the players should return to court.
Second game, love all. Play.
Number 4 seed Gregoria Mariska Tunjung, one game away from a third consecutive final at the Kumamoto Masters. And in case you're wondering, that obviously doesn't happen that often, but the last player to contest 3 consecutive finals at the same World Tour event was Young at the Malaysian Open, the Super 1000 event. She lost the Malaysian Open final in 2003 and then has won on the last 2 occasions. It is a very special player who can reach 3 consecutive finals at one tournament. Not an easy thing to do. I like that shot. Well, she's going to challenge that.
Chiu Pin-Chian challenges called in.
Well, if I had to make a guess, you may have just caught the line. Here we go. Indeed, it just caught the line.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. 3 love. Play.
This is the sort of scenario where I think it's very difficult for Chiu Pin-Chian, having had so much badminton last week in Korea. If you start to go behind, game down, and if she gets too far behind in this second game, then psychologically it becomes so difficult, not to mention the physicality of so much badminton over 2 weeks. Missed it.
2-3.
defense. Oh, delightful. Gosh, she made Chiu Pin-Chian move so much in that rally, did the Indonesian. Classic singles tactics. Longest rally so far, 29 shots. No, it stayed her side.
Service server. 3-4.
Missed it. Well, I've talked about the possibility of Tunjung reaching her third consecutive final at one particular tournament, but of course Chiu Pin-Chian also has an opportunity to do something that's pretty rare, and that's 2 finals in 2 weeks. Nice smash. And again, the last players to do that were Unsei Young, who won both the Denmark Open and the French Open, and her opponent in both of those finals, Wang Chi. So pretty esteemed company for whichever one of these 2 women's singles players makes it through to the final tomorrow. Up there with achieving something equal to the best of the best.
6-4.
I've got to keep her discipline. Chiu, simple errors like that, that's just delightful skill.
7-4.
I wouldn't blame Chiu Pin-Chian in any way for being beaten by that shot. Oh, that's a lovely shot. Four straight points for the number 4 seed for a 4-point advantage. Yeah. She's got lovely retrieving skills, this lady.
5-8.
Chiu Pin-Chian. Missed it.
6-8.
Well, their player may be in the lead, but the Indonesian coaches look a little concerned. And I'm guessing it's because Tunjung, we know what a delightful technical player she is, but there are question marks on her stamina, simply because of her illness and that she hasn't been able to train as often as she would probably like, and certainly not in the intensity that she would like to be able to train. That is a moment of
Chiu
magic.
Pin-Chian challenges called
Well,
in.
there's a challenge, and if Chiu Pin-Chian is wrong on this one, she's got no challenges left. Yeah, now look at that, bent double. That's feeling the pace of these rallies. And I think he got the line. Well, they're both feeling the pace of these rallies. They have been excellent. Here we go. Oh, no, it was out. That's a great challenge.
Correction, out.
Well done, Pin-Chian.
Service server. 7-9. Play.
Yeah, that's good follow-up by Tunjung.
Service server. 10-7.
Good pressure on the backhand push.
Nice.
That's a lovely angle. I talked about that round the head cross-court attacking shot at the end of the opening game, and it's still working so well for her. So again, and a 4-point advantage for the number 4 seed, Gregoria Mariska Tunjung.
Terus kamu kalau pas mau invest nggak usah bikin itu mepet, masuk aja karena dia mau posisinya sudah posisi kamu.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Terus kamu kalau pas lagi ya banyak lop-lopan ya.
Coaches return to
Right,
your
Chen
chairs.
Chen. Team's coach. Last words of advice.
11-7.
Now, I did notice
Play.
in between the first and the second game that Tunjung was just bathing a little graze on her knee, obviously from one of her dives early on. But she hasn't called the doctor. It can't be bleeding, but it might be a little sore.
12-7.
There's that same shot again, round the head, cross-court attacking shot. I wish I'd been keeping count of how many winners she played from that.
Service server. 8-12.
Wasn't that far away, and it was the right
9,
shot to
12.
play. Still constantly trying to move Chiu from corner to corner. Apologises, but it was an excellent shot.
13-9.
Super. Now, she missed one of those backhand cross-court net shots in the opening game, and she's already missed one in the second. I do like a player who doesn't stop trying to play what is in essence a lovely shot, but just makes the adjustment so that instead of it being an error, it becomes a winner. Nice. There it is again. Oh, I thought that was going long. That's certainly wide. And there's now a comfortable advantage
15-9
for Tunjung. Missed it. Yeah, that's a pity. And look at her body language after the rally. Chiu Pin-Chian
16-9.
bent double. Yeah. All the hard effort of winning the title last week in Korea, as I suspected it might, I think is really beginning to take its effect. Nice.
Service over. 10-16.
Well, either Tunjung's control on her
17,
lifts and clears has been immaculate in this second game, or Chiu Pin-Chian has been taking shots that are going long. And I suspect in that last rally she took one that was going long of the back line. Oh, that's magnificent.
Service server. 11-17.
Look at that angle. Super. Learned from her opponents.
12-17.
Lovely backhand cross-court net shot for the winner. Look at that, taking it early, just caressing it across court. Missed it. It's a gift.
13-17.
Working her way back into this, Chiu Pin-Chian. Oh, that follow-up on the backhand side.
Service server.
Once again,
18-13.
so good. She sort of made a double action with the racket there. Looked as if she was going to play the net shot, but then played the push. Good skill, good deception. Yeah. That follow-up on the backhand net, once again doing the damage. The last couple she's played hard pushes, that time the cross-court net shot. 2 points away from a third consecutive final at the Kumamoto Masters. Make that 1 point away. 7 match point opportunities
13.
for Gregoria Mariska Tunjung to put her name in the record books along with some of the greats of women's singles. think she changed her mind.
Server, 14-20.
Well, we saw in women's doubles earlier on today, Japanese pair coming from 13-20 down to level it at 20 all. It's not beyond the realms of possibilities. That's a nice clear. And Gregoria Mariska Tunjung writes her name into the record books along with the likes of Young and Akane Yamaguchi in reaching 3 consecutive finals at one particular tournament. The 2023 champion Tunjung and the beaten finalist last year is into the final once again here at the Kumamoto Masters.
Match won by Gregoria Mariska Tunjung, 21-16, 21-14.
Just 37 minutes for her victory. And that was impressive. Yes, a big smile. And she's got a lovely smile, Ms. Tunjung. This is the final rally. Chiu Pin-Chian put up a valiant performance, but I think in the end, excerpts over the previous couple of weeks actually took its toll. Not to mention the good play from Tunjung, outmaneuvering her opponent on numerous occasions. So Tunjung through to a third consecutive final here at the Kumamoto Masters, beating Chiu Pin-Chian 21-16, 21-14 in 37 minutes. So coming up next is men's singles, the first of our men's singles, and it's the Olympic semi-finalist Lakshya Sen from India up against Japan's very own Kenta Nishimoto. Welcome back to